What I've enjoyed about these walks is that I lose myself, or I become immersed in it by sharing and talking about so many other things, whether related to the walk or landscape or not. The process opens up memory and thoughts. Today's walk with Krystal summoned memories of the Gleeblands, of George the tent dweller, of life on that side of the river. We met by the humpback bridge across the railway tracks, and as if entering an arena we crossed alone, at speed, into the park. We stopped on the allotments briefly, marvelling at the sunflowers and the neatness of the plots. We walked past the bowling club and its never drying paint sign, and through the car park that Dino suggests is a dog in sight. We talked about exercise, that this space had become Krystal's back garden during lockdown. Here she came to work online, to exercise by jogging aimlessly but persistently for 20 minutes, to do online classes and to stretch. The park during that time was busy. The lockdown prompted people to take one piece of exercise a day, and that reminded people perhaps that exercise was essential and a privilege to consume. We took pictures of ourselves, with people in the background, revisiting those lockdown moments when the park was more populated than today. We talked about family. I said that I'd seen my friends who had become parents in March, and that they seemed calm, as if the bonding during lockdown had been magnified due to them both not working. Krystal said visiting her family was much calmer than usual, or easier, or words like this that seemed to suggest everyone was a little more at ease, and that in turn meant they were easier to be with. The motorway is a constant companion here. Even on a Sunday morning, the soundscape is conjured by the transient vehicles, collectively creating a persistent drone. We walk under the multiple bypasses that go directly over the river and tramp between the pillars to peer inside the caged concrete cells. The structure holding up the multiple bridges are prime graffiti spots, and the dull concrete is covered in large ambiguous letters spelling something not easily comprehensible. Heavy Crew is writ large, almost like a territorial claim, as if the treasured plot of land holds something key. Dino tries to work out the lingo.
Horrible crew, 2 full graves, say not a lot, loot money, guys.
We pass beneath the M4 and the capillary-like slip roads that feed it the traffic it needs. Along the bank of the river is the mighty log, a felled tree that offers a river view from its multi-level perches. Dino sees the kids playing football and is triggered by the sight. Memories of wanting to be one of the lads, of refusing to play at a tournament on his 8th birthday in favour of face painting with his gran. That day he got stung on the neck by a wasp, and Sue, his mum, pondered whether he might die. I showed them where George had lived in a tent for many years by the river. The clearing on the bank is still visible, and his work at creating a patio area still prevalent amongst the trees. A deserted fire pit and desire paths through the undergrowth are a long-standing memorial of his years living here away from the city and the persistent temptations of drugs. We walk back through the large concrete cavernous tunnel, and Dino remembers that this was where his first gay experience had happened. He tells us and sits on the curb where he was kissed. As teenagers, we recall how we spent a lot of time outside, escaping the adult world and making the most of temporary spaces, walls, dens. We cross back across the humpback bridge and walk to Carleon Road. It's busy, clogged up with parked cars. The road doesn't seem quite wide enough. We look for a cachet hidden on Richmond Street, but give up after fingering signposts and street signs. We walk along to the corner of Duckpool Road, and Krystal points out Wag's hairdressers and her appreciation for the colour and panache it brings to the area. Another pink-painted house offers a pleasing view. We turn towards Maindy. At Krystal's 3rd floor flat, we look at the view across the city. The Millennium Footbridge rises high and acts as a centre point. The buildings offer a layered view of the whole of the city. From the kitchen, the transporter bridge is visible. We eat cake, drink tea, talk about difference, the gay scene or lack of one, colour, racial abuse, white fragility and privilege. and then Dino has to go. Krystal asks me to look at some CCTV footage, and we create stories from the footage from 6 p.m. on a certain day. On the static screenshot, a smattering of people appear at different times, and we give them names and backstories and predict their journey destinations or their relationship status. The footage is all from her road, and when we walk back onto the street, it's like setting foot onto a film set. We walk to the river, stand across river from the wave. Krystal has a connection with this. She's dreamt it or feels it symbolises home. She feels secure here, and the wave is a testament to the late night landings from London, and strolls along the river home. We walk down river, stand on the footbridge, close our eyes and feel the movement of the bridge. It never stops. The pulse intensifies when people travel across at pace. We shoot small films and spend time observing the structure. We stop and then continue across into town. The walk is complete,